Hi, I'm Dave, founder of Halloween Year Round, and I'm here at Regal for a very special occasion, the 25th anniversary re-release of The Mummy, 1999. Everybody's favorite movie who grew up during that era, a movie that's one part Indiana Jones, one part monster horror, and just the perfect balance of everything. This movie's been so celebrated. It's one I grew up watching, and it's one that holds a very special place in my heart as the founder of Halloween Year Round, and I'll tell you why. When I started the website back in 2019, the very first article I ever wrote was a piece for its 20th anniversary. So now, 5 years later, its 25th anniversary is the 5th anniversary of Halloween Year Round. So it's very fitting that I'm here. So to commemorate the occasion, I thought I'd do one of my fun facts, articles, except I've done a million of those. I've never done a fun fact video. So for the very first time ever, I'm doing Halloween Year Round's first fun fact video. So while I go see the movie, I'm going to entertain you guys with 25 fun facts about The Mummy. Who's your favorite character from The Mummy?
I kind of like Benny.
Benny?
Oh, her brother.
Jonathan?
Yeah.
I have to go with Ardith Bay because he's part of the Magi and he's awesome. And when I grow my hair out, I look like him. How about you, Jonathan? Who's your favorite character from The Mummy?
Jonathan, of course.
Are you talking about the character played by John Hannah, or are you speaking in the third person?
I'm not in this movie, so John Hannah I am.
Sweetie, who's your favorite character from The Mummy?
I don't know.
You got the long-haired guy, the short-haired guy, the bald guy.
I guess the bald guy.
The bald guy's the Mummy.
She's not with us. Doug, who's your favorite character
I
in The
haven't
Mummy?
seen it since I was a kid.
I can't remember what the character's name was. Brendan
Right.
Fraser's character, though.
Yeah, him.
Rick O'Connell?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that guy.
Probably the best. Either him or Jonathan. Jonathan's also pretty solid in this one. You should also feel honored by that, Jonathan.
I've lost a lot of respect for that side of the theater.
My favorite part about Jonathan is when he, kisses the,
Because we haven't seen it.
camel at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
My dad watched it. I would watch
25 fun facts about The Mummy starts now. Number 1. Universal had been considering remaking The Mummy since the 1980s. At one point, Clive Barker was attached, who would have made it a low-budget horror movie about a museum curator resurrecting mummies in his museum. At a later stage, George A. Romero was attached and even wrote a treatment. His was a much more straightforward zombie movie. It wasn't until 1997 that Stephen Sommers pitched his idea, blending monster horror and swashbuckling adventure. Number 2. Brendan Fraser was cast because director Stephen Sommers was a fan of his work on George of the Jungle. He felt that Fraser had an Errol Flynn-like quality and understood that his character didn't take himself too seriously. Number 3. Prior to Fraser's casting, a variety of who's who from Hollywood were considered for the role of Rick O'Connell, including people like Bruce Campbell, Sylvester Stallone, Brad Pitt, Matt Damon, and even Tom Cruise, who would go on to star in the 2017 reboot. Number 4. Stephen Dunham originally auditioned for the same role of Rick O'Connell, and while he didn't get it, Stephen Sommers liked him so much he even created the character of Mr. Henderson just for him to play. Number 5. Rachel Weisz was cast because Sommers liked her performance in the World War II romantic drama The Land Girls. She was reportedly the only actress considered for the role and offered it, although sources do dispute that. Number 6. Imhotep was a real-life historical figure from ancient Egypt. However, instead of being a high priest with superpowers, he was an architect who designed some of the first pyramids. Number 7. The production had wanted to shoot on location in Egypt to keep things historically accurate, but the 1990s saw an increase in political unrest and terrorist activity in the country, so Morocco was chosen instead. Number 8. Despite them filming in the safer location, Universal still purchased kidnapping insurance on all of the main cast, just in case. Number 9. Shooting in the Sahara Desert, even in Morocco, was no joke. Production had to deal with snakes, spiders, scorpions, oh my. Many crew members even had to be airlifted to hospitals after being bitten, and much like in the movie, sandstorms were a regular occurrence as well. Number 10. The production's medical team also had to create a special electrolyte-heavy drink that the cast and crew would have to consume every 2 hours just to keep them from getting dehydrated. Number 11. For her very brief scene in the prologue as Anaxunamun, Patricia Velasquez wore only a loincloth, pasties, and body paint, which took a whopping 4 hours to apply before she could begin shooting. Number 12. Imhotep actor Arnold Vosloo absolutely hated shooting his mummification scene, since he actually had to be wrapped in those bandages for 4 hours. Number 13. Speaking of Arnold Vosloo, he drew inspiration from, of all places, Romeo and Juliet, believing that in Imhotep's own twisted mind, he was the romantic hero of the story. Number 14. While his name is never actually said in this movie, only in the credits, the leader of the Magi was named Ardith Bey, played by Oded Fehr. His name was a reference to the fake name that the Mummy used in the original film. Number 15. The infamous bookshelf domino scene was shot practically and in just one day, because if they had made a mistake and had to reshoot it, it would have taken an entire day to clean up and set up again. Number 16. The entire Cairo prison scene was actually an apartment complex in Marrakesh, Morocco. Number 17. While shooting the scene where Rick O'Connell is being executed, terror actually struck as Brendan Fraser was accidentally hanged for real. His struggles that you see on camera are him actually being deprived of oxygen. After shooting the scene, he lost consciousness and had to be resuscitated. Number 18. During the riverboat fight scene, Evie's white nightgown became very see-through when it got wet. So as a result, post-production had to digitally paint it white just to keep the movie from getting an R rating for nudity. Number 19. The hilarious "wait here, I'll get help" scene with Rick and the warden had to be shot last minute, as Stephen Sommers realized when they were filming he didn't actually write a scene where the warden gets off the boat. Number 20. While Arnold Vosloo played Imhotep in his human form, he also provided motion capture for his more fleshy CGI appearance. Vosloo joked that he looked like a Christmas tree with all these red dot markers on him that looked like Christmas lights. Number 21. The Port of Giza was actually shot in England of all places, with the pyramids digitally added to the background. Number 22. In the final scene when Rick is fighting Imhotep's army of CGI mummies, Brendan Fraser simply swung his sword around in the air and mimed a fight, which allowed the VFX crew to digitally animate the mummies based on what his movements were. Number 23. Ardith Bey was originally scripted to die in the scene when he charges the mummies in a heroic sacrifice. However, Stephen Sommers loved his character so much that he added that little scene at the end of him surviving just in case he wanted to keep him alive in the end, which he did. Number 24. The Mummy grossed over $400 million on an $80 million budget. Not only was it a huge box office success, but it launched an entire franchise, including 2 sequels, an entire series of Scorpion King prequel movies, an animated kids show, and a series of books. And finally, number 25, released on May 7th, 1999, The Mummy unofficially established the first weekend of May as the beginning of the summer blockbuster season. Future films like Gladiator, Spider-Man, and Iron Man would solidify that weekend's place as the beginning of the new season.
Alright, so the movie's over. How was it seeing it on the big screen?
It was better than I remembered.
What did you think, Justin?
It was good. I really liked it.
And my darling wife, you said it was just okay?
It was pretty good.
You want your fans to hate her?
It was pretty good. It was pretty good.
Pretty
It was
good.
pretty good. I've seen better
Pretty
movies,
good?
but you know,
No.
She's seen better?
I've seen better movies. Yeah. Pretty much any of the Avengers movies are better.
Well, unfortunately, Jess didn't like the movie as much as I did. She just doesn't
Nothing wrong with
understand.
that.
She just doesn't understand the classic that it is.
It's fine.
But I hope you enjoyed this video. Like, share, subscribe to all the YouTube stuff. If you don't, you may end up getting your insides sucked out by a mummy who's regenerating.
Not the best movie that Universal
Yes,
has made.
I have to go have a long talk with my wife. Like, share, subscribe. Every day is Halloween.
Back